All right, I'm ready.
You know, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Welcome to the Sohigho Gas Company podcast on this Tuesday. We're a little late as usual, but you know what we was doing though. EP probably was golfing, and you know I was smoking. 420 get us sometimes, but we here. Last week, if you didn't know, we had a severe thunderstorm in Cleveland. It was tornado actually touched down at Brook Park, which is very interesting, and I think we'll talk about that a little bit on the cultivation side of things. What do you do when the power go out? And it's been a lot of stuff that's been happening in cannabis news in Ohio since August 6th. We have legal weed for 21 and over being sold in the dispensaries in Ohio. So that is new. So now that solves the problem of where can you get cannabis from in Ohio. You can now buy cannabis at medical about 98 dispensaries in Ohio. So you have to look that up. And I think I will be reviewing some when I find some to review. But that is big in the news and the legal news about what things is. But like I keep telling all you guys, the law hasn't changed. They made an application, but just think about this. This is no different than the law. The law still states that you can possess 2.5 ounces of cannabis, and that's where we at with that. You're gonna be able to transport it, but how much you can hold in your house, still kind of a gray area. Not all the way solidified on what we're doing, you know. But we definitely like to be back, and thanks for my man, the one and only Voice It Radio president and founder, EP on the mixing boards for us today. Thank him so much for giving us this opportunity. Thank the Voice It Radio. It's always my pleasure for kicking it off the Tuesday block. You know, after me, we got Al Porter, and I'm sure we got some information off the Red Lion and what we've been up to. A lot of things happened. MGK Day was Sunday. A lot of things been happening around. So we're just going to try to catch you guys up a little bit. The biggest thing I think we're going to talk about here is these dispensaries. And, I know a lot of people kind of value my opinion, and I'm thankful for all the people who value my opinion and the knowledge I give you about the cannabis product and where you can get it. So right now, as we speak, if you look up online, look up any of the dispensaries and you can see their prices. The one thing that's going to be horrible about the law changing over here in Ohio right now is that you cannot see, touch, or smell the weed that you buy out of the medical dispensaries that allow you to buy recreational. And that was the by design, I think, when they made the when they made medical weed. So when you got your license and you made medical weed, they changed that so you cannot see, touch, or smell the cannabis product. You know, it's covered up for sure, and it's very hard. You know, and a lot of times what I have been finding out, because I'm a medical card holder, and a lot of times what I find out is not even the people inside the dispensary has even smoked the weed. So it's very hard to know what you get until you get that. But I do know some great brands, and I'm sure I don't know them all, but around these parts, anything from Glendale's is very good. Glendale's grow with tilt soil, all this Cleveland stuff, and I've been in they plant out of Akron. Very, very great plant. Try to go organic with the dirt a little bit, best they can. I'm gonna say their product is very good. They put good genetics, but like also with the in the medical dispensaries, you are getting brand name weed, but they have to rename it for some reason. It's like they have to relicense the weed because they had a version of Death Star, and I knew what it was, but they'll call it something like Jedi Knight, some type of weed. So it is very hard to find the brands that we're accustomed to, like that's on Leafy and Weedopedia and those things, the names that you seeing in the dispensary don't always match up to what we would consider in the traditional market and the way these people are selling their seeds. Because the name of the seeds is the name of the seeds. Nobody want to mess with their genetics or nothing like that. But it is very hard to decipher these things. But like I say, Glendalis weed, Buckeye Relief, always those guys over at Clutch. If you could find Clutch weed in any of these dispensaries, you should get it. But here's how the pricing goes. As far as a couple days ago, the first few days out, a couple people offered no taxes. So you get 2.83 grams for $40, almost standard across the board. So to be honest with you, that's just making people just keep going to Michigan and seeing their local guy, their traditional market guy, which I say just stay with him anyway because he's been serving you good. He probably know a good supply line. You know, that's probably where you're gonna be doing the best. And all you people who love to drive up on the weekend, at those prices, it's not a bad price system. Because when you are in Michigan, if you've been up to Michigan and you shopping for things that's past Monroe County, I mean Monroe City, where they got all of those dispensaries where people go straight across the border and go straight to that place. If you go a little bit past there, and even some of those places, King of Dank or King of Buzz or whoever they are up there, they have a tier system: one, two, three, and four in Michigan. And I would say four is the best, and that's just like regular good price weed that you're gonna buy all across the country. Anything with a brand name is gonna be up there in that price range, and that's gonna be about actually $50 to $60 for 3.5 grams in Michigan. The the cannabis that we are getting out the rec shops right now, besides those ones that I say, I'm gonna say they in between tier two and tier three, and it's still some of the same things. You really don't know how long that stuff's been in the bag. And I can see by the way it's been rolled around in those bags, messing around with this cannabis for as long as I have. It just be in the bag for a little bit of time. And when people are not conscious about the heat and the humidity of the bag, what I'm always worried about is the mold and stopping all of the curing process, not being able to burp that bag once it's heat sealed in. And it's the reason why people do that because they don't want you putting other things inside their bag, which I agree with. I definitely boycott all stores that sell fake bags. Don't even shop with them no more. Make them learn their lesson. That's how people are plagiarizing good weed growers and sticking any old thing from CBD to whatever, and they tricking the consumer out. So that's why it's good to know a good bud tender. But yeah, last time I went, the other thing, I tried to get a ounce out of the dispensary. Before, even when I had my medical, I didn't have my medical license for a long time. It is very hard to get straight THC out in an ounce, 4 grams out the dispensary. They just don't want to sell it to you because I think they make more money breaking it down. Rise, they best thing that I saw out of there, the downtown dispensary. I ain't gonna say it was them automatically, but it was some other people downtown, and there's other dispensaries open. $170 for 14 grams is what the going price was, and you can. I mean, in certain places, you almost could get that for an ounce of tier four or the best weed you can get. And still, the best weed you can get, the best prices you're going to get is still 200 to 250. Uh, that's quality smoke right there, if you ask me. I mean, that's probably where it is, grown in dirt, something very good. But yeah, the dispensary weed, you know, I to me, carts is carts, but even in there, the carts is kind of high. I don't know. We got some work to do, but I'm glad. What we should be happy about is just that we do have outlet for to be able to purchase recreational weed at these locations. We got probably the most. You'll figure the most is gonna be in and where they are. Cleveland, Columbus, and Cincinnati, Hamilton County, Franklin County, and Cuyahoga County is got the most. And still, it's still plenty of shops around town selling the THCA. Yeah, I do sell THCA. It's good for some people. It's just not THC. I haven't found, can't just say across the board that is it's the same. I can't say I know how to make it the same. Call me up. I definitely tell you the secret to how to go about it. But is it the same? I'm thinking not. I really haven't. I don't know. I just really find like it's a difference. I don't know if it's my mind playing tricks on me, but it definitely is different. Different quality of cannabis, if you ask me. Now, with the changes in this too, I look at Michigan and how it went with this. And with those prices, how are they going to make it competitive for the dispensary? And do the dispensaries even want to ramp up to that? Or do they want to stay medical? Do they have a customer base? Everybody, you want to be legal. I think we all want to be legal, but then it's a quality aspect of this. I still think the best thing you should do is get some clones and grow your weed, and that'd be the best way to go about it. I still think that's the best way to go about it. While I got you here, I do want to tell you we do have a phone number for you to call into. You could call in to 216-249-6650 if you wanted to give me a call and ask me any questions about that. I love to talk to somebody online about if you had recreational and you had like maybe smoke shop weed and maybe you grow, is there a difference? Because I tell you my opinion about it. It is definitely a difference. To me, recreational, I watch Michigan very closely. And I like the medical weed, and they grow in a tight standard, very controlled environment. Definitely test the weed for the THC, but I think they lose something after they process it and they put it in the bags. I just think over time it's just a little bit something is lost. We lose and definitely bag appeal and probably some of the nose on it, but the THC should be there. I have had some good stuff, and then I had some okay stuff to kind of remind me of THCA. Now going to Michigan, like I said, it's just really about the tiers up there. And now everybody love to come back with the $39, $49 ounce, but I'm gonna be honest with you, that's called a trim bag, and that's not even a shake bag. And what a trim bag is, if you guys don't know, when you going up there, that's the outside leaves off the weed. It got crystals. That's a good bag to, if you wanted to make edibles out of. You would cook that down and you would make edibles out of that. It's not just the best smoking bag in my estimation. And the price is still up there. But the prices is going to fall eventually. But I'm not looking for these prices to fall for approximately, I'm going to say 2 years. I just think how slow the bureaucracy is going, it's just going to take a while. I think we are under a very similar model that New York was under, that they passed the law and they didn't put the regulation behind it for sure. But it is very cool. So, look up if you want to go in there. It's plenty in Cuyahoga County. Like, I mean, I can't even tell you all of the ones in Cuyahoga County. We have several up here. But like I say, the other thing about it is the buying experience. It's so sterile that, it's like buying weed out of, I don't know, a Catholic church or something. It's even steriler than that. The Catholic church is even looser than that.
Hey, Jan.
Yeah.
I went to one of the dispensaries up on Short.
Yeah.
And you gotta go in there. First, you gotta wait 15 minutes.
Yep.
Then after I get in there, you gotta go to a kiosk, a computer, and
Absolutely.
scroll through to put an order in
Yep.
to wait another 10 to 15 minutes.
Absolutely.
And the prices were outrageous.
Outrageous.
I went across the street to the dudes that Bob's vape shop
Yep.
and went and got me a little, he had some weed in there. I
Yep.
went and bought some of that. I'm like, come on now. They were like, prices were high, dude. Very
Yeah.
high.
Totally
Very
high.
high. Yeah.
That is so much the truth. That's what I'm saying. Like $40, and the process of us purchasing is just completely different. Nobody, and they gotta understand us as the consumer. It still feels illegal, no matter what we want to say about this. It. We have to get used to it and break the stigmatism. It's not comfortable. I remember when they first changed the law out in Colorado. I got myself on a flight and I went out there. And guess what I did? I said, could you hand that weed to me out the back door? It just feel funny as all get out being in the front of this store with all these cameras on it and buying the weed. So I paid for it, and the guy at the counter actually said, you're not the first person who asked me to do that. And I understood why, because it just feels like that. Not being able to see, picking your weed off a computer screen is
Yeah.
completely foreign to us.
Crazy.
We just do not buy weed like that. People, and with so much fake stuff out there right now, you got to be honest. It's been CBD sprayed with Delta 8. I saw some more pictures of the, so they done morphed the white sugary donut weed, the blue weed that's been out, and now we got baby blue popped up today. I absolutely on my phone right now. We got baby blue, and I'm gonna give some people. It's a thing called diamond isolate, and it can be anything from derived from anything. And what diamond isolate is they isolate everything out the weed, all of the flavonoids and all of the cannabinoids and all of the terpenes are all gone out the weed, and they get straight down to the THC. And that's pretty much what a diamond is. A diamond is just pure extract of THC, everything stripped away from it, and that can be white and powdery. But do I trust that? No. Because the only time we really find diamonds like that of high quality is in some mega expensive stuff. Look up Two Chains on the YouTube, and you'll see him at this smoke shop in Las Vegas, and they got diamonds on blunts that cost like $2,000 and $3,000. Also, like that's what I'm talking about. And what they're using that for, they put the diamond on. Say you rolled up your joint, you will put the diamond on top of it, not dust your whole plant with this stuff. It just seemed like if it's THC diamond that they putting on and this weed look like a powdered donut but colored. If you haven't seen this shit, but I'm trying to tell you, it's K2. The first the first batches of that I saw is absolutely been K2. I looked at it under the microscope, did not know what it is, and then I asked the people who's smoking it what it is, and then I finally rolled up on somebody who I know the difference between what K2 is and smoke regular weed, and he definitely confirmed to me that is K2. So it's just some people are just not being, in business. Some people are just shisty. You gotta watch out for that stuff. That's why I said some of that gas station weed ain't good, but it is some of it. Like some of the stuff from the Chagrin Valley Hemp Company is very good. I know who grew it. You know who grew it, and it's got a better lineage. And then if you not looking to get all psychoactively high, which most of us are looking for some THC in that, that is a good place to do. Also, like I said, the people that make made by farmers gummies, they are THC free, and I promise you, I sold out of those. That is a great product, and they give you the benefits of all of the cannabis plant without the high of the THC. And I feel like that's what's going on with a lot of that gas station weed right now. That's why they allowing it. It just to me it's like weed with no ass. And what I mean by that is it just got no high to it. It's got no longevity. It's like you smoking, but you're not getting high at all. And that, I guess some people like that, but that's not where the medicine is. The medicine is uh, the medicine is in the THC for some of the stuff, because CBD, CBD, you know, that's for my medicine, probably because I'm more mental than the most of y'all. But yeah, we got like 98 different dispensaries. I want people. I don't even say waste your time. I would like make a challenge and lie, say like I was gonna go to all of these places and check them out for see who the best. But really, it's just too up in the air. I really don't think it's no big wave. They came in like a whimper. I don't think Ohio is. We gonna have these billboards up like, come get some pop from here. I just don't think we going out like that. And even if we do go out like that, it's gonna be at least 2 years. I just cannot see this thing going on. It went across on August 6th. You would have thought on 12/7 when the law changed, we was having parties, right? Like woo woo, we legal to smoke, and people went out on the street and we was smoking. And I think we still smoking hard from that. This weed is in the dispensary. Let me tell you, being on the streets, I don't think it moved the needle. I don't think it moved the needle at all. It's no lines. I didn't see no lines. I looked on the news all day long. It was no lines. We Clevelanders and we from Ohio. If around the country, if y'all don't know, my people out in Central America and on the West Coast, when you see this, our property ain't what y'all property. Our cost of living ain't what y'all cost of living. And when you asking a Clevelander to pay like 20 to 30% more than what he could get off the street, you know, he looking at you like you crazy. Like and the restrictions. My man B said, first you got to go in and show your ID. You been here before? Let me data log you into the system. Can't stand that shit. Let me log you in so I can keep track of how much you buying in this month. So that's the first red flag to why you care how much I smoke if we could smoke as much as we. You know what I mean? Like, hold on a second. I'm responsible, but yet you gonna data log me. All I like to see is, are you over 21? And then you got a limit on how much you could buy out of that store in a day. And I don't see, and at them prices, if you wanted to go to multiple stores, God bless you, bro. God bless you. You some kind of other kind of rich, and you really, I don't think you're gonna do it. You really wouldn't do it. And then after you get through the initial intake, then you go down into a lounge, and that's when they'll hand you a tablet or put you in front of a computer, and you sit in that lounge. That's like the take a ticket lounge, and you sit in there, and then you wait for a bud tender to call your name. And let me tell you how long that wait is. That's another 10, 15 minutes, and then you strolling through. If it looked good on the picture and all this, you like maybe make 3 or 4 out that you want, you go back there, and I promise you, here's what they're gonna say. Yeah, we got that, but not in a half. Yeah, we got that, but not in 2.83. Yeah, but not that. You be like, can I see it? Yeah, they'd be happy, and that's another trick. They'll be like, yeah, you can see it. They go right into the back, and they'll pull a container out. You be like, what am I looking at? Oh, this is it right here. You be like, well, can I see the bud? No. Then you ask the magic question. All right, I like what the numbers say and everything, and the picture look good. Anybody in here smoke this? Bro, I ain't found nobody in Ohio dispensary that smoked the dispensary weed yet. That's just one of them things. I'm trying to tell you. And the people that's in the THCA store, which I got one. I smoked just for the sake of this podcast today. I did. I smoked some strawberry cough, sativa. Just ain't hitting, bro. It just ain't hitting like that to me. Now, do I know where some good THCA at? Yeah, but it costs. It costs actually. It's gonna cost you way more than the traditional weed. But that's what it's gonna take. It's gonna take being a good shopper. And I think just like everything else with this, it's gonna settle into itself. But it's gonna take a long time. I mean, when I say a long time, I don't think we'll be breaking the stigmatism till it'll be back kind of normally, and we get settled in this for 2.5 years. And I base this on Michigan, Indiana, and Pennsylvania, the places that you travel. Colorado, it's just in the background. Vegas too. Like Vegas, you know, yeah, you buy dispensary weed, but do I like dispensary weed? In general, not really. I mean, I like cookies. What you want me to say? Shout out to Burner. I like going to cookies. I'm not gonna say the House of Dank up there ain't bad in Michigan. Some of the bigger dispensaries that get the good weed and they got good buyers. It is some good stuff. But number one on my dispensary list, I don't know why y'all go to Monroe and don't go all the way to the cookie shop in Ann Arbor. That's always high quality. And if you're a veteran, which I am, they give you a great, great deal as far as veterans here. That's the only that's the only way you should be buying weed here in Ohio if you're a veteran, because veterans get like 25% off. And the main thing that I would go into the dispensary for myself is straight sativa. A lot of times you can get, and I'm gonna tell you that's a secret too. Go looking for the sativa because a lot of times people aren't looking for that. Sativa dominant hybrids usually is holding a higher THC. And if you just the in the couch, that's indica, and you like to really like Netflix and chill, that's what indica does to you. You know, the dispensary, it's a lot of competition, I guess, for that. So if you go for the off brand and you like a sativa, if you like it, that might be a way for you to go, and that's about it. And if you want any of that stuff, then let me not knock the dispensary, bro. If you want the THCA pop, I mean not THC. You want all of the THC derivatives as far as the powder for the drinks. You want the drinks. You want some carts and things. And no, I'm gonna say no to the carts here. Because you're gonna go right back to Michigan. If you like those distillate carts, which I'm gonna say you're gonna grow out of eventually, you're gonna stop getting that and you just gonna go up to Michigan a little bit. Man, that's so much on the dispensaries, and we're going to get to our first break coming up on the Sohigho Gas Company's podcast. Thanks so much for EP and the Voice of Radio. Stay tuned at 7 o'clock for Al Porter's Hip Hop Show and Hot Mess in the evening following on Tuesday. We'll be right back with some more cannabis news. Hot Mess. My algorithm is down, bro.
DJ Danny, aka Mr. Jonathan, Yellow Colors Dan Dan. I'm here with VoiceOfRadio.com.
And popping stars and levels, Mr. Money for the Eagle, you already know.
Oh no.
Fresh checking me all the way down.
My hot knife broke.
Cleveland was half,
I knew it.
Yo, it's you, Cisco in the building. Whether I'm in Cali or whether I'm in Cleveland, I'm always rocking out with voiceradio.com.
Ah, nah. Broke my hot knife. What a poor constructed piece of equipment this was. I knew that. I don't know how to get this shit in here now. What's poppin'?
Going on is your favorite host, Twan Soul. What's poppin'? It's your boy TZ from the Clear.
Oh, shucks. Man, that's so messed up, bro.
Nigga tried to feed his son that newborn baby gasoline to kill it. I know I drank some gas before.
What?
I was ciphering some gas.
Oh, okay.
to put it in somewhere. I forget. And I was like, that shit. I was like, oh, I thought I was gonna die.
Oh,
Man,
yeah,
I
bro.
thought if I smoked a cigarette, I was
Oh,
gonna
what
blow
are
up.
you thinking, bro?
I was scared as hell. That shit went all the way down. Like I swallowed it, man. The gasoline. I'm like, I was like, oh fuck. And this shit went straight down my throat.
Ooh.
It was horrible.
Man, did you get drunk? What did it make you feel
I
like?
didn't really feel nothing. I just felt like I just didn't do something went right. I shouldn't have been swallowing gasoline.
Yeah, that's exactly what that
Oh,
is.
I was like, shit.
Hey, check out Lord Collins and Colin Hour. That's
Oh,
not
yeah.
every Monday from 6 to 7 p.m. on Voice of Radio.
Tell me I didn't leave that. Better not. Whew.
What up, man? What's going on, man? What's going on? This is favorite host, What's poppin'? It's your boy Teasy from the Clear. Motion Picture Gang is coming. We all listening to Voice of Radio.
Yeah.
Shit.
Oh. Miss Mickey. Let's go. Welcome back to the Sohigho Gas Company podcast here at the Voice of Radio, right here in beautiful Cleveland, Ohio. Shouts out to my lovely city, Cleveland. I love y'all. I love calling this place Cleveland. Now, there's been a lot going on. So last week, like I said, we had a thunderstorm. And what I want to talk about in the cultivation block right here is what do you do when the power goes out? And we were out for 4 to 5 days. And if you're growing under lights, you got to do something. And absolutely, it caught out there. It really is not a bad deal if you in flowering. In flowering, you want your light cycle to be somewhere between 12 on and 12 off, or some fashion of that. 12 on and 12 off has just been the standard, and some people are going a little more like 11 on and more like 13 off, like that. That's how a lot of people are going. So what do you do when the power goes out like that? And say you invest in, the best thing you could do is what I did. I got a LED light and some battery packs. It was not as strong. I grow with some very strong lights, over 750 watts. Most of my lights is in the 1100, 1500 watt range, and I got dimmable. I'm like nerdy like that about me doing that stuff. So the best thing you do, nothing beats Mother Nature. So if you get your plants over by a window, that's going to be the best thing you can do. So not only did we have a thunderstorm that knocked our power out, behind that, it was kind of overcasty for the next few days. You still got to set those plants outside, but if you in veg and you're not ready, because 3 days worth of darkness is almost over. Your plant is going to think, okay, it's starting to go to fall, or it's time for me to start producing fruit, because I'm getting toward the end of its lifespan, or the light cycle is changing. So when you go to dark like that, your plant is gonna flip in the flower and the bud. And I have seen people who stop bud and flip it back in the flower. But let me tell you, that is a strange looking plant, and it's just off. You just really, in my estimation, the best way I can explain it is that you're gonna confuse your plant like that. The only other thing I could tell you to do is have a generator on standby. With the advent of the LED lights, you can really get you a smaller generator and keep your plants going, and especially in that veg tent, because you should be somewhere in between 18 and 24 hours. But most people with some variation of 18 hours of light, and 4 hours of sleep. Some people just go 24 hours. Like if you running auto flowers and you really trying to drive some stuff, people keep those lights on 24 hours. But when you keep the lights on 24 hours a day, what what is what I estimate that as, and in my own experimentation, is that the root suffers. You need to like turn the lights off a little bit because that's imitating nature even better. The lights that I use actually dims on when I start my lights in the morning, no matter what brightness. So I might only be using 70% of my lights in veg, not even that much. And from that, in my settings, I have a 50% gradient all the way up to that 70%, and I could do it across an hour. And what I'm doing is trying to imitate the sunshine in the inside. So that's when you practice things like that and something like this happen, your plant's almost accustomed to that. But then that's like one of the more laborious parts of growing weed is the burping of it after you cured it. When the power went out, man, let me tell you, every morning you gotta get up and you gotta put plants outside. And I'm gonna tell you flat out, the auto flowers was in seedlings and they did not make it. And I tell you what happened. I set them out. I had to go somewhere. I actually was going to do some laundry with my high self and did not think about, oh, the power's out at the laundromat too. But guess what? That's some high boy shit right there. Real high boy shit. Like, oh, I'll just go to the laundromat and do my damn laundry. Like, oh, brilliant, son. Right around the corner, huh? I was like, yeah. I wound up having to go almost to Strongsville to get some laundry because it caught me out there. And guess what happened when I went to the laundromat? It rained and I had seedlings. So I got good sun for them, but then I got absolutely too much water. The plants wasn't strong enough to hold up, and it just caught me out there. I did not think about that till I went out there that night, and it wasn't that my roots drowned or anything like that. It was the raindrops was too heavy and actually snapped my stalks because they was not that far on. And I guess in my wisdom, my lack of wisdom, too close to a couple of them was just too close to the gutter and not having the gutters clean. The water came over the top of it, and that was absolutely too much water for that. So my royal cookies took a complete dive on that, and that's just one of the realities of growing a plant. It's a cannabis, it's still a plant, and you have to be careful. So I would definitely have a contingency plan, a backup. If you at certain stages of your grow and you really like it and you're doing a good job, you probably need a generator on standby, or you need like battery powered LEDs. If you see these little LED grow lights, right? They only use a 5 volt. They plug up just like a USB plug on a computer or anything like that. I thought they was Garbino, not doing much, but guess what kept me alive? I would get in my car, power up a power pack, and it gave me enough lights for one tent that it looked like they didn't even see no difference. Sure, the power was lower, and I'm sure they was wondering what was going on, but they didn't change their light cycle, and I just had that, but I did not have enough of those to back up the whole thing. And I took a loss. I mean, I budded a couple plants is in flower and budding right now that I didn't want to. I wanted to grow them much bigger before I flipped them in the bud. But being off for 3 days, that's gonna happen. You have to like make some plans for that. So if you growing like that in your house, it is a thing. Everybody that grew growing outdoors, you did good. I mean, it's just regular. That might be the benefit of growing outdoors. That's maybe me having too much inside in the tent. Maybe that's one of them things I just learned from that during the summer. I got to put a little more outdoors and unless, because I'm already fighting heat and sunshine. I mean, heat from the windows. It's difficult growing in the summer for me, it's been just a lot of temperature control, a lot of humidity control. In the winter, I'm worried about just putting water in there. For whatever reason, around these areas in the winter, we get dry. Right now, I'm sucking out about like 2, 3 gallons worth of fire water every day. 2 to 3 waters. And yes, you can water with that water. As a matter of fact, if you're using Cleveland municipal water, I would almost recommend you use your humidity water that you extract. It's going to be, in that instance, I got to do the test on it, which I really haven't. I really have to send it off. But in my estimation, it's not going to be nothing in that water, no minerals or nutrients. So that might be something like maybe you should be adding a couple drops of, I would probably say amino acids, or I will have a better formula for you next week to add that. I know for well water, it's too much calcium in it, so you'll use some ammonia. What did I say? Damn, you forget. I forgot it myself. I just said it. I had to rewind and look. Amino acids is what you would add to knock the calcium down in water, and it'll help you. But you need that calcium. But then when you use that pure water, that's why distilled water is not as good as spring water. There's nothing in straight distilled water to help it. You got to put a lot of in it. But I would say the humidity water that you get, like in the summer right now, if you growing inside, you taking moisture out the air. It's been so wet. And then that was the other thing about the power going down. No air circulation. Boy, that was a hard one. That was very hard. It just felt like the air was stagnant, no fresh oxygen coming in, nothing coming out. That whole system of me getting the good air in, bad air, not bad air out, but good air in, oxygen out into my living space. That is like a benefit that I definitely noticed when that wasn't going down, where I was like, man, I gotta go outside a lot more. The air ain't fresh in here, and that bit of not having the air circulation. But I guess you could work that out with like battery powered fans. Just depending on where you're at. If you in a serious commercial grow, even if you growing traditionally for that, you're gonna have a couple. Just you should just practice that. Just have the generators fired off with the thing, and depending on where you at, because when I grow on the farm, guess what happens when the power goes out? I got no water. The well water don't pump. So if I don't got like 3 or 4 buckets worth of reserve water, I'm in an issue right there. And to me, being here, getting water here in Cleveland, I always worried about the pumps being down and what they add to and that. So another thing that I would almost say that we should have on standby for emergency is probably spring water in the big drinking fountain containers. They're bigger than 5 gallon, the 10 gallon, 30 gallon jugs of spring water. You should probably have that just sitting in your side just for emergency sakes, period. Because that caught me out there too, where I once again drove out of town and I got to go to the grocery store and buy gallons and gallons of spring water just because I don't trust the city water, especially with all of the pumps being out. You just don't, depending on where you at in your grow. And I think it was more effective to me in my veg tent. I watered all the way through with the water during that storm, and my bottom set of leaves just looked like they started turning brown and a little yellow, and the only thing different strains, and that was like, I don't know. And the blind bud James Brown, my buddy over at Mansfield, the blind bud cultivator, he always say he could taste the water and tell me what it was. So I did that, and I started tasting the water a little bit, and it was definitely different when the power was out. I was like, yeah, I don't know if I want to. It was almost like it don't taste good enough for me to drink. I don't want to give it to my plant. So I got that together. So that's a good tip on cultivation. Get you a backup plan. You never thought about what you're gonna do when the power go out. What you gonna do if you don't have no water? And if you serious about it, just those little things, if you think about it, just to have on stock just in case. The battery powered fan, who would have known? They are available with D batteries and rechargeable now, but some air circulation, I would say, is better. The next best option, if you're growing in a tent, is just set them outside and maybe bring them back in. And then the temperature fluctuation with that was a little bit varying too. So we're gonna take our next break here. We thank all of y'all for tuning in to the Sohigho Gas Company. Anybody want to call in? The first person call in 216-249-6650. I got a free. You could come by the studio right now and be a on-site sampler today. Thanks so much for the Voice of Radio. Stay tuned after me for Al Porter and the Hip Hop Show. And later on this evening, we got Hot Mess in the Evening on Voice of Radio. We'll be right back after this, Dad. All right. Phew.
This is Greg Champion of GDC Solutions LLC.
All right, then we'll go over the last bit.
DJ Danny, aka Mr. Gaunt, the Yellow Taliban Dan. I'm here with voiceradio.com.
Hey, what's poppin'? This is Don Danello, Mr. Money for the Gringos, and you already know I'm tuned in to voiceradio.com.
G Fresh checking in all the way down from Midwest Naptown. What it do, Cleveland?
Man, I need 3 subscribers. YouTube put me over $100.
Yo, what's good? JJ Cicero in the building. Whether I'm in Cali or whether I'm in Cleveland, I'm always rocking out with voiceradio.com. One dollar.
What's poppin', y'all? This your girl, Miss Mocha. You know I'm tuned in with Voice of Radio.
Yeah, it's Big 40, man. I'm already tuned in to Voice of Radio.
What's poppin'? This your girl, Queen Susie, and I'm tuned in with Voice of Radio.
Bang. What up, man? It's your boy Big Kev. What's going on, man? What's going on?
What up? This your boy Chris Frank.
Yo, for real now, it's your girl, Miss PJ. I'm tuned in with Voice of Radio.
What's poppin'? It's your boy Teasy from the Clear Motion Picture Gang of Don't Bang It. You are listening to Voice of Radio. It's Artazar, and you are now tuned in to Voice of Radio.
What up with it? This your boy Q Nice, man.
What's poppin'? It's your girl Jessie Jets, and I'm here, and I'm always tuned in to this radio.
This is Al Porter Jr., the president of Black on Black Crime Incorporated. Fentanyl is the leading cause of drug overdose death. It's now found in powdered cocaine, crack cocaine.
What the heck?
Any drug may contain fentanyl. If you use drugs, never use alone and carry Narcan in case of overdose.
Shouts out to all my YouTube. 3385 West 105th Street. Check us out. Check out that new conversation. Shoney Sean and the Bourbon Brothers. T-Rex got a show tomorrow. Tune in tonight. Send me your questions over. You could hit me on the chat on this thing. I know what I didn't do. I didn't post my last vlog. That's what happened though. We got some new stuff. Society too. I don't know. It's alright though. I got some Death Star too. Not Death Star, but Double Stack. Yeah.
What up, man? It's your boy Big Kev. What's going on? It's your favorite host.
Yeah.
What's poppin'? It's your boy Teasy from the Clear Motion Picture Gang of Don't Bang It. You are listening to Voice of Radio. Artazar, and you are now tuned in.
Who Rod got coming through tonight? Yeah.
What's poppin'? It's your girl Jessie Jets, and I'm here, and I'm always
Yes, yeah.
What's going on? This is your brother Bashir Jones. You are listening to voiceradio.com. Hey, this is Bashir Jones.
yeah. Let's get it on. Shout out to my family. Shout out to the Mason brothers.
What up, peace? Somewhere hot done this in the Voices Radio. No, we club it. Wild wide. Tipping lock.
Yo, what it is? You out there, local homeboy. You listening to Voice Radio. Let's go.
Hi, my name is Nakia Jones, the author of The Truth Divided. And when I'm at home chilling, I'm tuned
Yeah.
in to Voice Radio.
I'm Sandy Scott of The Experience, and I'm always tuned in.
All right, let's go. Welcome back to the Sohigho Gas Company Cannabis Show. We coming into you live from the Voice It Radio studios right here in lovely Cleveland, Ohio, right off Shaker Boulevard West and Buckeye, cross street, Woodland, right in the heart of it. Thanks so much for my great engineer and the Voice It Radio president, EP, who's going to be on the air with us later on tonight. So just to recap a little bit, we had a lot of events going on since the last time we was on the air. We had the block party over on St. Clair. We got to host it with Mecca Sunshine. That was such a good event. I know Brother Al Porter was out there. It was a lot of performance. Harold HJS, who's probably been on the station a few times, and Red Lion Days, who called in. That's like over at the Red Lion Tattoo celebration. It was just a great event. Red Lion Tattoo and all Poke, Krista, Kush, L, all of the staff over there. They did just a great job putting on a great block party for the St. Clair Superior thing. We supported that. We got lucky enough to be the host. It was just a great event. If you want to see some good artwork and what they put up over there, it's on the wall at 4030 St. Clair for sure. We had a great time. Also, it was MGK Day. If you don't know, Machine Gun Kelly Day was Sunday downtown Cleveland on Marcy. Big hit as always it is. I mean, some of us, he got funny. I don't know. He made a Cleveland anthem though. So he kind of cool with us all. But then, when he flipped over and dissed Eminem and all that in hip hop, I don't know. All of that and then going rock music, all of that. People have opinion about it. But he got the keys to the city. And I heard a little birdie told me that he bought he's either in the investment group that's trying to buy shooters down on the east side of the flats. That might be a good shot in the arm for that because on the west bank of the flats, because right now the east bank of the flats is kicking ass if you ask me. I mean, the east bank got it going on, and it go back and forth in that too. Also, if you want to now, it's an issue that I just want to give a little announcement that it was an issue that we was having technical difficulties on one weekend. We had the James Brown, the Blind Bug Cultivator. We only got like 11 minutes up on EPs on the Voice It radio station, but the Blind Bug Cultivator has that episode for us, and I have it under the YouTube channel from the Voice It radio station studio copy of that thing. That's the most knowledge I think we talked about. Really good knowledge about planting weed and different cultivation techniques. And it's just a real good interview with me and him on that. And you can check that on the YouTube channel. And I believe we do have an 11-minute clip of it on the Voice It radio show. But the whole interview, because a couple people asked me about it, is up on the YouTube channel. That's filmed right here at the Voice It radio station. I don't know, that was a good month or so ago. That's so wild that we really been clicking these things off. And like the last studio, it's funny how it works sometimes because last week we was we wasn't here, and the week before that might have been one of our better shows. We definitely got a lot of events coming up. We also been asked out to be guests on other people's podcasts, so I'm always thankful for that. Thankful for EP giving me this shot at doing this thing, and it's real good. We did the Urban Brothers show over on Johnny O's them network Shawnee Shaw, who DJ'd at the Red Lion Tattoo block party last week, did his show, and it's just a good show to when people ask me for my knowledge and ex, I guess it is expertise on this plant. So that was a good show. So if you missing like last week's and it was a break in there, you could check out that show also. It was very good. We got more interviews coming up, and really what I like to say, if you got questions that you want answered about the cannabis plant, you can call in, leave a comment on any of our pages, anywhere, and we'll be happy to get back to you. And as we always do, we get better. Now, this week giveaway, last week, listen, you guys just didn't come. I told you what time to come pick up your sample packs, and you did not come get your sample packs. I still had that. I forgot his name. 2 people came, 2 people didn't. If you want to be a sampler, and I have a good blind taste test for you to go through, it's going to be 3 joints. You have to go to my email, Sohigho 216 at Gmail. Sohigho 216, Sohigho 216 at Gmail. Contact me on there, and we will make arrangements for you to get a pat, and we will let you test some things and see how you do with it. And I just ask you to report back to me, and then we'll read on air feel about it. And it was a little bit disruptive. I got to get to it a little bit. Got to get some other people didn't write everything in, but the power went out. We had some interruptions in that, but that's a real deal. Also, if you want some clones, talk to me, because with those plants going like that, I will have some clones available to you. But it's the same, you have to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Give us a like on the Voice of Radio Facebook page. For sure, tune in later to all our shows, especially Hot Mess in the Evening, and we'll be happy to do that. You must like and subscribe and add the notification bells. We need to play that algorithm to keep going. But we are definitely planning on going to some of the dispensaries. They real tight about us filming in there. I'm going to be honest with you, because it's not a pleasurable, I don't know. It's just not a pleasurable experience to me. But we definitely thank y'all for tuning in. We definitely go keep getting better as we go. I'm definitely gonna have more information for you, and we got the vlogs going on. And just please keep helping us grow. Tell a friend to tell a friend, so we can keep growing and growing and growing. So till we get to one big thing, let me not forget. I got the Mason Brothers 5 shirt on. If you have not caught the Mason Brothers, on the 17th, Abdullah Mason will be fighting in Quebec. I don't even know who he's fighting. I just know he's fighting this weekend. He just fought. If you didn't see him, he made the big card on the Shakur Stevenson undercard. And if you really want to know, he carried that night. It was a great, great fight. That's Cleveland on. Shout out to they dad Valiant, my partner from under the tree from back in the day. But definitely look them up this weekend and watch them, support them. That's Cleveland on. The Mason Brothers, Abdullah Mason. Probably going, I know it's on Top Rank somewhere, but it's probably going to be on ESPN also. So the Mason Brothers boxing this weekend. Also, don't forget the Playmakers, Tilt Soil, the Chagrin Valley Hemp Farm. Begrudgingly, I'm going to tell you to go to Hippie House. But you better, come on, Sharif. Dang, how long is it going to be? Shout out to Gotti over there. They're trying to get something started. Shout out to Lorraine, who's trying to get, you know who I'm talking to. We're trying to get something going out there also. Thank everybody. Thank the Indians. If you're looking for some late night food downtown after you get hungry, open till 2 o'clock on 12th and Superior. It's some good Indian food. They'll stay open till 2 o'clock. And different than that halal chicken that I'm getting tired of eating all these for late night food. But once again, we're going to sign off from the Voice of Radio station, Sohigho.com. Thank y'all so much. We're going to check y'all out later on Hot Mess in the Evening. Stay tuned at 7 o'clock for Al Porter's Hip Hop Show. Be safe, and as my good buddy, good friend, EP always say, smoke some weed so you don't punch people in their face. Y'all be good out there. Shout out to my grandson and my grandnephew, Ty Mello and Jair. Thank ya. We'll check with you, YouTube. You.